Well, the sales outlook for Target, not as rosy. Several analysts have cut their sales and profit estimates for the retailer as Target shoppers are still seething from the holiday card hacking incident. On Target's Facebook page today, angry consumers continue to complain, threatening to shop elsewhere. This comes on top of 11 class action lawsuits that have reportedly already been filed. Our next guest says Target mishandled this crisis, and it could take years for the company to rebuild its brand and trust with customers. He's Dean Crutchfield, brand expert with his own firm, Dean Crutchfield Associates. So, Dean, tell me, what do you think that Target needs to do now to repair what it's done wrong?
Well, there are two main areas they need to look at to make their decisions. First of all, Target is still a hugely strong brand in many ways. What would the Target brand do in this situation? I think if they put that forward as a management tool, they would change a lot of what they're doing currently. So that's number one. Number two, where they're going to regain trust is with their consumer. And there's really four things they need to do. The first thing they need to do, of course, is to have some information that is trustworthy. And that's a big problem. The second thing they need to do is help the consumer simplify their decision-making process, especially given all the outrage. The third thing they need to do is they need to simplify the customer's learning of what actually happened. It's still a kind of a mystery, what happens and what happens next. We don't really understand that. And then the final one is to give consumers options that they can weigh in on. For instance, one of the things that's desperately missing is the publicity to get customers to get online, go to Target and change their passwords.
And you know, Dean, it also seems like we haven't heard much from the CEO of Target. In other crises, you often see the CEO, like of Johnson & Johnson or Merck, come out front and make some kind of apology. How much would that help to make consumers feel better about Target?
I think it's too late. He should have been on the horn as soon as this broke out, and he hasn't been. There are many other examples, as you say, where the CEO's straight there. They have all lines of communication open, and I don't think Target's done that. They say the best defense is to take an offensive position. Here, Target's just been defensive all the way through.
You know, this breach probably could have happened, I'm guessing, you know, to any retailer or any business. What is the key lesson you'd say in management crisis of how to handle this situation much better?
I think that, first of all, you know, look by example. I mean, look what happened to TJ Maxx. Didn't anyone learn from that? But I think ultimately it comes down to a few key things. What is the actual brand? The actual brand position on this is obviously really important. But most importantly, the whole effort needs to be put onto the consumer so that they can actually leverage their understanding of what's gone on, and Target can regain that trust. This is the critical thing. How do you deal with your consumers? How can you provide upright and forthright information to consumers to enable them to make decisions? And at the moment, they just don't know what to do.
So let's say, Dean, that the CEO of Target does everything that you just outlined tonight. What are the chances, and how long might it take for the company to regain that trust?
It could take months, perhaps years. I think, you know, most importantly, you know, it takes a strong strategy, it takes strong leadership, it takes talent around the leadership, including their agency support. But ultimately, it's all about culture and customers, and that's what's key. So, for instance, are they communicating with their store managers? Do they know how to prepare their staff who are getting barraged by questions? These are all things that Target's failing to do.
All right, Dean, thank you. A lot of good information. Really appreciate you coming on the program.
Thanks, Susie.
Dean Crutchfield, he's brand expert with his own firm.